Welcome to your Barbados Today evening news update for Thursday, January 31. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. An 18-year-old has been charged with committing 2 of the 9 murders recorded so far for this year and 1 back in December last year. He is Romario Antonio Roach of River Bay, St. Lucie. The accused is alleged to have murdered 38-year-old Joanne Roach, who lives at the same address. Her partially decomposed body was discovered in a watercourse at River Bay, St. Lucie on Monday, January 21. The teen is further charged with the unnatural death of a 68-year-old UWI lecturer, Dr. Sarah Sutrina, of number 124 Wanstead Gardens, St. James, whose mutilated body was discovered on a Tuesday, January 22nd at Ocean Estate, Northumberland, St. Lucie. It is also alleged that Roach murdered a 68-year-old Tyrone Austin of Free Hill, Blackrock, St. Michael. Austin's lifeless body was discovered in a bushy area at Wanstead Gardens, St. James on December 18, 2018. The accused teen appeared in the Whole Town Magistrates Court today before Magistrate Wanda Blair and was not required to plead to any of the indictable charges. He was remanded to Dodds to return to that court on February 28. Before that, he will appear in the District A Magistrates Court on February 6 in connection with Austin's death. The Sugar Industries and Staff Association has written to the Chief Labor Officer declaring a dispute between it and the Barbados Agricultural Management Company Limited. That's according to Association President Edwin O'Neill, who today lambasted the BAMC for its management of the recent retrenchment exercise, which saw over 40 workers going on the breadline. In a fiery press conference this morning, O'Neill charged that officials at the BAMC failed to meet with the association and to give the necessary information required for it to make informed decisions.
Given all that has happened, it is clear that the BAMC is disrespectful to this union, is disrespectful to custom and practice, and we will even go to say is disrespectful to the Prime Minister. We are now satisfied that the BAMC has targeted and attempted to decapitate the leadership of this union, and that cannot be allowed in Barbados in 2019 in light of all the protocols of which the government of Barbados and Labour are signatories to, and in spite of the ILO conventions about how you treat the union leadership, and of which Barbados is a signatory.
Some 28,000 street lights across the country are set to be upgraded. That's according to Energy and Water Resources Minister Wilfred Abrams, who says high-pressure sodium lights will be replaced with LED technology. The minister made the comments during a signing ceremony for government's energy-efficient retrofit of public sector smart energy program at his office this morning.
This upgrade to the island street lighting complement is being undertaken as a necessary transition in the type and efficiency of technology presently in use. These LED street lights are going to be 50% more efficient than the presently installed high-pressure sodium lights, and it is estimated that the retrofit will result in annual energy cost savings of 3.7 million Barbados dollars. For Barbadians, the savings will not only be financial, but the installation of these LED street lights will also see a reduction of 2,400 tons of carbon dioxide emissions and will result in over 4 million kilowatt hours of energy saved versus what obtains currently.
The project is being undertaken in the Ministry of Energy under the Public Sector Smart Energy Program and co-financed with a loan from the Inter-American Development Bank and a grant from the European Union.
As it relates to the financing of these LED streetlights, the IDB provided resources for 39% of their costs, and the EU provided resources for the additional 61%, with a total retrofit cost of approximately $20 million Barbados dollars. There are those who question why the switch to LEDs, even though presented with the financial savings, environmental considerations, and a reduction in use of imported fossil fuels. Well, the switch to LEDs will also allow for additional benefits, which include lower maintenance costs, better quality light, the expanded lifespan, and I'm glad to hear you're guaranteeing these lights for 10 years. We will hold you to that. The additional value of more accurate color rendering, and the fact that these LEDs do not contain harmful elements such as mercury or lead.
In sports, Pacers Schema Roach and Shannon Gabriel sliced through the England lower order to bowl the Tories out for 187 in their first innings on the opening day of the second test at the Vivian Richards Cricket Ground in Antigua today. Resuming from tea on 172 for 6, England lost their last 4 wickets for 15 runs, with Roach and Gabriel sharing the spoils. Roach ended with 4 for 30 to follow up his 5-wicket haul in Barbados, while Gabriel finished with 3 for 45 and Seema Alzari Joseph 2 for 38. Now in reply, the West Indies reached 30 without loss in their first innings at the close of play. The test resumes tomorrow.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from our regional neighbors, an increase in sexual crimes in Grenada is causing law enforcement there much concern. As we hear in this report from GBN News, most of the victims are schoolgoers.
Basically, between 2017 and 2018, there have been an increase by about 100 incidents. If I were to give the statistics for this time of year in 2018, at the end of January 2018, there was 26 incidents reported, and so far for 2019 we've seen a total of 15 incidents reported of a sexual nature to the police.
A multitude of reasons are contributing to the increase in reported sexual abuse cases. According to the head of the Sexual Abuse Unit, Inspector Andrea Noel Victor, cautioning that the reported figures are just the tip of the iceberg. Inspector Victor said that 75% of the cases reported involves children that are under the age of 18 or people who are not in a position to give consent. Schools, she said, is now their target for educating children on the issues of sexual abuse.
Now, we've used this data as evidence to move forward and to address these issues via the schools, because that's where you find the bulk of the victims, in the school.
And finally, the death toll increases in the U.S. Midwest as the region shivers in the grip of its worst cold snap in decades. But the end is in sight. The historic deep freeze that has reportedly killed 12 people is expected to let up by the end of the week.
Pretty much what you see is what you get. It doesn't get a lot colder than this. We begin to come out of this deep freeze, but Chicago breaking a record this morning, daily record, 20 below right now. They actually down to 21. Aurora, Illinois, down to 28 degrees below zero, and that's not the wind chill. That's the air temperature trying to freeze you and your pets. Wind chills right now, you add another or subtract another 10 degrees from there. Chicago, it feels like 36 degrees below zero. Now today we warm up a little bit, but Chicago hasn't been above zero since Monday. Wind chill factor 3 below even for tomorrow morning. So yes, that's better than 30 below where we are now, and the frigid air does move away. There's going to be something in your forecast. If you live here, you're going to live right, if you live through there, your ground is so cold. And your local forecasters are going to miss this because I've done it. There's going to be humidity coming up with this mild air. And when that humidity comes and the ground is 4, that humidity is going to freeze to the surface and there's going to be an ice event that nobody forecasts.
And that's news. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izoni Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.